Hey everybody, Tekking here. Okay, we need to have a little discussion about something, alright? And, it involves this guy right here. Saitama, the main character, the protagonist of One Punch Man. Now, if you don't read One Punch Man, if you don't watch One Punch Man, this video is not for you. This is just addressing something that I've noticed popping up quite a bit ever since the One Punch Man anime came out this season, and it was exploding in popularity. And hey, just to let you know, I love it too. I absolutely love it. In fact, I'm doing a live reaction series of it on my vlog channel right now that I just started with episode 9, and there's only going to be 12 episodes, so I'm kind of late to the party there. But I really do love One Punch Man. But here's the thing that I've noticed a lot of people doing with it ever since, this is a character, it's been around for a while, but, it's just becoming popular now. He's being introduced into a lot of crossover battles. People are putting him up against, who would win in a fight? Saitama versus Goku, Saitama versus Naruto, or Luffy, or whoever. Who is stronger? And probably the most prominent one would be Goku, or anybody from the Dragon Ball Z universe. You can actually go on just YouTube and see, there you go, there's a bunch of different results for that. And before I piss anyone off, I should probably just say that, of course, if you want to do a crossover battle, it's your rules, you can do it your way, it's your video. If you want to have, Goku beat the ever-loving shit out of Saitama, then go ahead, it's more power to you, it's your crossover battle. But I think you might be missing a fundamental difference here between what makes Saitama completely different than every other main protagonist, or not just any protagonist, just in general. He's a very odd character. He's a character that's very different from Goku or Luffy or Naruto. And the best way I can describe it and how he's different, it's just one sentence, and most of you might not agree with it, or you might have some umbrage with it, but let me just state the sentence, and I'll get on to explaining. The sentence is this: Saitama is invincible. That's it. That's it. I don't even know if that was a sentence. That might have just been like a, for instance, fragment or whatever. But anyway, that's the point. 3 words. Saitama is invincible. Okay? And many people might be like, oh, well, nobody's invincible. I mean, it's manga. I mean, if Goku does this, or if Naruto does this, he might have a chance. No. Saitama is invincible. Okay? And that's the fundamental difference between that series and every other series, is that his invincibility... I think what a lot of people do is they just look at it like, well, Saitama's a really strong character. Who else is a really strong character? Goku. Goku's a really strong character. Okay, so since they're really strong characters, let's have them fight, and who would win? That's the problem. Because while Goku is really strong, the point of the Dragon Ball manga is not just Goku's strength. It's not completely centered around Goku being a really strong character. That's an element to the Dragon Ball manga, but that's not what it's entirely focused on. Okay? The entire point of Saitama's strength and speed and invincibility, and just his character in general, that is the crux. That is the whole point of One Punch Man. Okay? If Saitama were to ever lose a fight, that would completely wreck the entire plot train of that series. Okay? That's just the way it's set up. Alright? And I understand, before somebody mentions it, I understand that there was a crossover manga between Dragon Ball Z and One Punch Man already, where Saitama fought against Vegeta, and I believe there's another chapter that hasn't been translated yet coming out. But here's the problem with not just that, but a lot of other crossovers, is that they're never going to be set up for one character to completely win. Like whenever the actual mangakas get together and agree to do a crossover, they're never going to have one particular person win, because that's basically the same thing as saying that one series is better than another. Even if that's not what the authors are really aiming toward, that's the message that's going to get across. I remember one time there was a One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Toriko crossover. Now, did that crossover end with Luffy and Toriko having the shit beat out of them as Goku is Super Saiyan lording over them? No. No, it was just a fun little crossover special. And with the One Punch Man it kind of was too. You see Saitama and Vegeta, they have a little scuffle. Vegeta's like, holy shit, this guy's strong. And Saitama's like, oh, this guy's pretty strong. And then something happens, they get distracted, they have to go, and they don't get to continue their fight. And that's the chapter. It was really fun to read, seeing Vegeta react to Saitama. I mean, that's inherently just fucking hilarious. but it's not going to be a serious, like, okay, Saitama punches Vegeta in the jaw and gets his head ripped off. That's not really a good way to properly, because the whole point of that crossover is, like, to promote both manga. Having Saitama kick the shit out of Vegeta, or having Vegeta kick the shit out of Saitama, whatever way you think who would win in that fight, that's not really getting the point of the crossover, across, So that's the reason, like, crossovers between the two actual mangakas getting together and doing this, that's why there's a fault in that. There's never going to be a clear winner. The only time there's a clear winner is when people like me and you, fans, do the crossover battles, and even then it's only subjective in their own eyes. But that is essentially Saitama's character, is that he's invincible. The mangaka, One, which I love how he used that pseudonym. In case you don't know, the mangaka of One Punch Man we don't know his real name. He goes under the pseudonym One, and that's cool, bro. I love pseudonyms. If I was a mangaka or an author in general, I would probably go with a pseudonym, because my name doesn't really strike, epicness in the hearts of readers or viewers. But couldn't you pick something other than One? Because that's confusing, talking about the author of One Punch Man being named One. But whatever. But when One created One Punch Man, the story, he created Saitama and Genos and all the characters. He is basically the god of this universe. Out of his imagination, these characters became created, and he ordains as the god, as the mangaka, Saitama is invincible. Therefore, he is invincible. That's just how it goes. Alright? Now, it would be like, let's say, a good way for me to compare this. Let's say there's a crossover battle between Goku and Naruto. And Goku beats the shit out of Naruto. But not just that. He also rips off Naruto's head, holds it up above him, and then, like, drinks his blood. Okay, don't you... That would be a little bit opposite. That would be like the exact opposite of Goku's kind-hearted nature. Something you would never see Goku do. Goku is not the bloodthirsty motherfucker, okay? He has a very kind heart, and that's constant throughout the entire series of Dragon Ball. Even at times to a fault. Even at times where you really think he should kind of shelve that kind-hearted nature, he still holds on to it. Like when he was fighting Frieza, and, he goes Super Saiyan, kicks the shit out of Frieza, and, you really should think just fucking kill the guy. But Goku still has that kind-hearted nature, and he gives him a little bit of energy just to kind of get him by. So that's constant throughout the entire series. Goku has that. Well, I'm sorry, but it's the exact same thing with Saitama, where it's just part of his character that he cannot be defeated. And that's just how it is. So, yeah, I just think he's one of those... He's a character that was created that just is not applicable when it comes to crossover battles. It's just not very well done. Now, it works in the confines of the series of One Punch Man. Okay, because honestly, when I first heard about One Punch Man, when I heard people talking about it, there's this guy that can just beat everybody with just a single attack, or, he just never gets hurt and he can just defeat any opponent without really trying, or getting seriously injured or anything like that. I thought to myself, that sounds like a pretty fucking boring series. And if that's all it was, it would be boring. It would be super boring, no matter how entertaining Saitama is. It would be pretty damn boring if every single chapter was, monster appears, boom, I win. Next chapter, monster appears, boom, I win. It would get boring after a while, but that's not the whole focus of the series. The focus is, you of course have the main cast, you have the side characters like Genos and Sonic and all that crap, but not only that, it's not so much about Saitama just being so strong that he just wins every fight. It's about how he acts, for one, because you have this guy that's incredibly powerful, and instead of being corrupted by that power, instead of becoming like, I'm going to use my power to rule the world or become the king of the world or something like that, he doesn't do that. He's just a normal guy. He's more concerned about, what am I going to make for dinner tonight, So it's in his character himself how he's written, but also about the other heroes and their strife as well when you compare them to somebody that is invincible like Saitama is. You have a monster that appears, and it just kicks the shit out of, like, 9 heroes. 9 really strong heroes get their fucking asses handed to them by this thing. And then Saitama shows up, and in just one punch, he fucking KOs, and not just KO, kills the fucking thing. Now, it's not boring because you have to look at, like, how the other heroes, how this whole reacts to it. How the other heroes feel that they could be shown up like that, and they had so much problems, and just one hero can kick the shit out of of a monster in just one blow and just kill it after they've had so many problems. It would be like let's say there's a bank robbery. You know, there's a bunch of people robbing a bank, and we decide that the U.S. military sends in SEAL Team 6. You know, this fucking elite trained combat unit. They're going to go in there. They're going to fucking kick the shit out of these robbers. They send SEAL Team 6 in there. SEAL Team 6 gets freaking decimated. Like, the robbers, against all odds, manage to kick the shit out of SEAL Team 6. They fail. But then all of a sudden, a single civilian that just happens to have a gun on him, you know, takes action, and he manages to take out the robbers. Yeah, now, okay, at the end of the day, the robbers were defeated, everything's good, but how do you think the public's going to respond to that? How do you think the government's going to respond to that? Same exact issues with One Punch Man, and that's what makes it so damn interesting to watch. Okay, that's what makes it not boring whenever you have a main character that can kick the shit out of any monster that comes to it. Okay, that's what doesn't make it boring, is all this other shit going on. So that's that. But, you know, one final example I'll throw out, that I came up with is this. I'll make it more simple with an old cartoon. You guys remember the old Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon? I believe it was by Hanna-Barbera, I believe. And the premise was simple. You know, it was a cartoon where you had this Roadrunner who was constantly being chased by this coyote, and the coyote would always try to catch the Roadrunner, and he would always fail. He would always fail. No matter what he did, no matter how fast he got, no matter what weapon he got from the Acme Corporation, the coyote always fails. Okay? I actually saw cliff notes of the series that Hanna-Barbera wrote up, if that's the person I'm remembering that actually designed the series. And one of the notes he wrote for the series when it was still in production was basically, the coyote can never win. Okay, that's just the point of the entire series, all right? Now, let's say, like, you're looking at it beyond that. You're not looking at just the way the author set it up. You're just looking at it in the context of the series. Like, oh, the Roadrunner's really fast, huh? And the Wile E. Coyote can never catch him. Oh, I bet, you know who could catch the Roadrunner? The Flash. The Flash could fucking catch the Roadrunner. The Flash is fucking fast as hell. He would catch the Roadrunner in, like, 1 second flat. Now, screw that. A microsecond. 1 microsecond, and the Flash would have grabbed that freaking thing's neck, and it would have won. He would have won. You're looking at it from just the context of the series. That it's not a matter of, oh, the Roadrunner's just faster than the Coyote, that's why he can't catch him. No, it's not about how fast the Coyote is. It's not about how clever the Coyote is. It's not about anything. It's about the simple fact that the whole plot of the series, of that cartoon, hinged on the fact that Coyote could never catch the Roadrunner. The whole point of the series of One Punch Man is that Saitama can never lose, and that he always wins. That's the point of it. So once again, if you want to do a crossover battle, it's fine. I personally just don't see the point in it, you know, because it's just not the way that character is set up. But yeah, that's my opinion. What do you think? You think I'm dead wrong? Do you agree with me? What do you think of Saitama's character? And that's pretty much all I had to say here. I look forward to reading your hate mail. Tekking101, signing out. Later, guys.